All right, we are recording. So welcome to Mix It Up Monday. Since we are recording, and if you don't know who I am, you might be in a different group. My name is Jessica Sivia, and I am a STAR director, and I am out of Winthrop Harbor, Illinois, so right in between Milwaukee and Chicago. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I utilize warmer and scent of the month for my business. So I guess to kind of kick it off in the comments, if you are getting the scent of the month and warmer of the month on a monthly basis, go ahead and put yes in there. If you have any questions throughout this, you can put them in there as well. I have the chat open, so I'll make sure to pay attention to it. Elena's getting it. Tanya's getting it. I'm getting it. I know Bree's getting it. Perfect. So you might be a little seasoned watching this, but for our new consultants, I am going to kind of take you through where to find it in the workstation. So bear with me if you're a little bit more seasoned. So I am going to share my screen and give me just a second here and get us over to the workstation. Oh, hang on. I'm moving things now. Okay.
Hi, Liz.
So,
hi, Jerry. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. So the scent of the month, every single month is available, and so is the warmer of the month. So if you are trying to subscribe or find it in your workstation, when you log into your workstation, you're going to come up to your dashboard. If you're on a computer, you're going to go to your name and account tab. I believe if you were on your cell phone, it pulls up in the bar with like orders and everything, and it's typically at the bottom, and there's an account tab. So in this example, we are going to go over to my name, go to the account tab, and where it says website and subscriptions, this is where you're going to be able to upgrade or downgrade. So before we move any further, I'll explain a little bit what warmer and scent of the month is. So every single month, Scentsy comes out with a brand new warmer and a brand new scent, and that is exclusive for the month within the month. So it is really beneficial for us consultants to be a part of this for multiple reasons. For one, it's a tax write-off. For two, you're able to experience it before it's even released. So when you enroll in either the warmer or the scent and warmer of the month, you are able to, it processes on the 15th. So your credit cards are being charged on the 15th of the month. And then you have until the 28th to get that warmer. So as an example, since today is May 4th, if I wanted to get the warmer of the month for June, I would need to subscribe the 28th or sooner. If I went into this and upgraded to the warmer and scent of the month, or even decided to activate just the scent of the month, I did it on the 29th, that would put me into what July's is going to be, if that makes sense. So you have to remember that there's a cutoff. So if you want it for this month, you have to do it before the 28th. If you want it for the next month, it's going to process you for the following month. And it's also important to know that you can go back and forth. You can upgrade, you can downgrade, you can do neither. It's totally up to you. So tonight I'm going to show you how to get into it. And then I'm also going to go over how I utilize mine. So I do the scent and the warmer of the month. So if I wanted to, which I'm not going to edit this just because I don't have my credit card laying around to re-enter it in, I can go to downgrade, and that's going to take the warmer off of my subscription, and it's only going to allow me to get the scent of the month. So we pay depending on what the warmer is. So sometimes it will be maybe like $60, $70, $80. I think the most it's ever been is like 100 after taxes and shipping, and it really just depends how the warmer is made. If it's glass, if it's ceramic, those price points do change, but you're able to see that prior to it being processed. So the scent of the month, you get 9 bars, you get a tester of the scent of the month, you get a room spray, you get rub and sniff stickers, and you get flyers. If you upgrade, and that's always $35 plus tax and shipping. So mine normally ends up being about $42.50 for budgeting purposes, if you're interested in knowing that. And then if you add in the warmer, you're going to get everything I just said plus that warmer of the month. Okay. So now that we kind of know where in our workstation to find this, I am going to stop sharing and kind of share with you how I use it. So I have my own scent of the month club, and this has been pretty successful for my business. I've probably been doing this about, I would say about 5.5 years. I've been selling Scentsy for 6 years. I learned about it as an early consultant, and immediately I knew it was something I wanted to put into my business for a number of reasons. One, I'm getting the scent out there. My customers are feeling like royalty, VIPs. They're able to use it before it's actually released, because when it ships on the 15th and processes, we get it typically, we'll say like the 20th, and then you're able to get it in your customers' hands before it's even released. So the way that I do my scent of the month club is you have 9 bars. I typically always have available about 6 spots. So if I have 6 spots available, that leaves me 3 bars to do samples with. So those 6 spots, you can either do, I do 6 months. So 1 bar per month for 6 months for $30, which is the exact same. If you buy 5, you get 1 free for $30. So you can do that. I've seen people that do 3 months for $17, which is catalog pricing. Or I've seen people do it where somebody will just opt in to get it the entire year, and then it's $60. Now you can set those price points how you see fit. I do it where it makes sense with what Scensy's pricing is. So a lot of times I reach out to my customers that are in my VIP circle that I know this is something they would be interested in. And I shoot them a very simple text message saying, hey, just thought this is something you would be interested in. I'm launching a scent of the month club. This is going to include the new fragrance that is being released the following month. And I give them a little blurb letting them know like, hey, Scentsy releases a new scent every single month. So definitely, if it's been really good for my business. I don't know if anybody else is doing it or if they're doing it differently. Please, put it in the chat, and then you can come on and chat about that as well. And a long time ago, I watched a training by Jacqueline Roy, which she's incredible. So if you're not looking her up, she's awesome. And I'll never forget her talking about how her business was, going downhill. And she really touched on warmer of the month and scent of the month. And she said, my business was striving. I had a lot of PRV, a lot of recruits, and something changed. And then she had just mentioned that it dawned on me that it changed because I stopped sharing these things. These are very basic tools that all of us consultants have at our fingertips that we could be putting into our business for whatever reasons we want. It could be because you're doing a scent of the month club. It could be because you want to do events and this is your way of building inventory. It could be because you want to use these bars as hostess prizes. It could be because you're playing games in your groups and these are going to be prizes for your customers. There's various ways for you to utilize those. And when she kept talking, she said that I stopped sharing. I stopped sharing the scent of the month samples, and I stopped sharing my story. And when you stop sharing key things, something stops in your business, whether it's recruits or PRV. And so when I get my flyers, which we get 50 flyers, at the end of the month, if I have any flyers left over, I have wasted money. And that's the way I look at it, because I have spent countless times personally where at the end of the month, I still have 20, 30 flyers because I simply didn't take a moment to put them together, or I didn't hand them out, or I didn't share this with people. And even though you guys, this warmer is sold out, you can make a cute little sticker and just say pre-sale available for $10. A lot of people have done it, and you can still use these flyers. You can still get sales for this awesome warmer. And it's just a different way to put business on the books for the future. But if you're looking around your office right now or your workspace and you're like, yep, I have flyers from January, February, March, April, you wasted your guys' money. This is a selling tool, and it's so important that you get this out. So Candace wrote, I have a scent of the month club as well. It's going well. I'm thinking of opening 6 more spots, just ordering a 6-pack of wax on the 1st. So yeah, absolutely. And actually what you just said, so when Scentsy was doing the bricks and we only got, I think, 3 bars, at that time when they made that change, I had 6 people in my club and I had to adjust. And exactly what Candace wrote in chat is exactly what I did. As soon as the first hit, I just added those bars into my order, so my customers still got them. So if bricks come back for whatever reason and you have a club in place, you just have to adapt and be flexible. Liz wrote, it's my son's job every month to sticker them. Mine too, Liz. Every single month I put out my little flyers. I say, hey, I need my sticker on the back. And then I put out my little baggies that I put my sample on. And I'm like, I need you to put that rub and sniff sticker. That's hilarious because it's exactly what I do. But I feel like as consultants, we try to add so many different things in. And at the end of the year, we look like, okay, I didn't use this, I didn't use this, but I spent my money on these things. Like I have a project broadcast, I don't use it. So I'm wasting my money. So this has to be a year for myself that I don't waste my money. And this is exactly what I do. So I make sure that these go out all the time and it just constantly increases your sales. Can you talk about how you invoice? Yeah, absolutely. So you can do it all sorts of ways. So you, like some of my customers, it just really depends. So you can use Venmo, you can use Square, you can use PayPal, Apple Pay, you can use, sometimes what I do is because let's face it, we are taking that $30 or X amount of dollar hit because we're being charged our personal cards every single month. So there's no way for you to truly go in, put into an order for a cent of the month club. This is considered a personal special. So you are doing it yourself. A lot of times what I'll do is if I have an order going in and my customer Tina is opting into my club, I will charge Tina $30 worth of product. And I keep that product, obviously, because that's now she's getting the cent of the month. Or I've also used Square where I just invoice my customer the $30 and you can include tax. That's up to you. I don't, but you can. And you can just put it as like cent of the month club, $30 and send it to them. So, I mean, that's how I do it. Tina actually just rejoined my club and that's exactly how I did it. I had an order going in and I was like, well, I'm going to add in these 6 bars because I need them for my samples or my inventory, whatever it may be. And that's how I did it. Or you can do it opposite way where that money is sitting there every single month. Bree, do you do yours differently? How do you charge yours out?
So I just invoice them the $30 in advance, like, when they're first subscribing.
Yeah,
That's just what I do. And then I personally just pocket the money only because my PRV is like high enough where I need it to be. But I think that's a great idea to invest it back if you need that. Because I think like everyone goes through that point in their business where they are trying to build up their PRV. So I think that's a really great tip I never have heard before.
I actually, to be truly honest, I had all these credit cards that, like I had six subscribers and they were paying by credit card. And at that point I wasn't using Square. And I didn't know another way where I could effectively charge them $30 because I don't do PayPal. And so sometimes that's what I was doing. I really like Square, especially if you're wanting to send more invoices, but you can use any of those options as well. And that's exactly what I do. If I'm starting my 6-month club and when they're going to get January, February, March, April, May, June, I would invoice them basically like the end of December. So we're ready to roll come December 15th, when my card gets hit for what January cent of the month will be. I will tell you, since you just wrote that about Square, because I learned this the hard way. So Square will 1099 you if you process more than 3 cards. Now I do events, so I need to have Square. So I already have to accept that at the end of this year, I will get 1099 from them again. So keep that in mind. I learned that last year. Cash App also 1099s you. I got 1099 from them last year as well. I just saw that you said that about Square. So keep that in mind, but it does work really well. Kind of off topic, but Square for me, the way that I will use that is, for instance, we have pre-orders. We have this big launch tomorrow, right? Whoop, whoop. Put in the comments if you guys have pre-orders. I don't want to be panicking at noon trying to put in orders and credit cards are declining. So I will charge them today through Square and that gets now put into my bank account tomorrow. So it's been really good for me, especially in pre-order situations. Bree, do you have a question?
So how do I turn my hand down? I feel like I'm in school.
Oh, there you go.
So I learned about 1099s that I
Mhm.
want to share.
Please.
First of all, now in the state of Illinois, that's like a state of Illinois rule about this 3 invoices. So if you don't live in Illinois, that might not be your rule, your rule. Jessica and I, and several people on her team that are on tonight, we are in Illinois.
Yeah.
So otherwise, before it was like, if you sent 200 invoices and it totaled over $20,000, you were getting a 1099K is what they call it. So if you get a 1099K, I got 2 of them this year. Don't freak out. So basically what happens is they're going to report that to the IRS as income. So when you're filing your taxes, you are going to add it as income. But then when you do a Schedule C, and if you don't have an accountant, I highly suggest doing it. I use an accountant and he's actually cheaper than me doing it myself on TurboTax. But if you go on the Scheduled C, you can write off that expense. You just put in like third-party processing, and then you put right in there like PayPal, $25,000, whatever it is. And basically, like, you have to report that income to the IRS, but then you're showing that it was because people paid you for products. Like, people paid you money so you could secure their products on Scentsi's website, if that makes sense. So I don't want anyone to feel like scared that they get a 1099K, because I felt like that was something that I was super scared of when I first started my business.
Yeah, I mean, and so Lexi, reading your chat, so just depends what you're using. So like Venmo, I didn't get 1099. And you're absolutely right, Bree, because I've used Square before and it did have a minimum. I think it was like 10,000, 20,000. And obviously I didn't process that much, so I didn't get 1099, but I did this year. But I won't stop using Square because it's just very convenient, especially to run credit cards, where like Cash App, you can only do debit cards. So it just depends. PayPal gets 1099. So kind of going back to topic, those are some different ways I use it, but there's so many other ways. Like samples are huge. If you're not getting the scent of the month, I highly, highly encourage it, because in order for you to share those products, sometimes people want to smell the scents. Now, no matter where you live, we're going into warm temperatures, so I will encourage more felt samples just so they don't melt from getting from you to your customer if you're mailing them. But I will tell you the key with sending samples is you still have to follow up, you guys. It's always a misstep. So sometimes we send the sample and we just think that the customer will tell us like, hey, I got your mail. This smells amazing. That would be incredible if every customer we reached out to did that, but that doesn't happen. So a lot of times I always wait. So if I send it like on the 1st, I always wait until about the 8th, because by that time you would think that they have gotten the mail, and I reach out and I might say like, hey, Tanya, did you get the happy mail I sent you? What do you think about the scent? I absolutely love it. So I try to engage that way. So don't miss that step because it can be huge for you. We talked about Scent of the Month Club. Should be your goal to get all those flyers out. And if you guys have past flyers, don't throw them away, because that scent is available for 6 months. So our scent for May will be available May, June, July, August, September, October, and then it retires. So keep that in mind. When you have a scent of the month, it's only available for 6 months. And obviously also keep in mind, because of some of the shipping delays in India, which is why the scent is delayed this month, sometimes the product might be unavailable or sell out faster. So always check the news tab for those type of updates. Does anybody do events? Because if you do events, this would be a really good way as well to boost up your inventory. So I know sometimes if I don't love a warmer and I'm not going to personally use it, I will still opt to get it, because then I can use it for events. If anybody is looking for hostess gifts, so sometimes you have incentives to getting people to book parties. You can offer them like, hey, if you have a qualifying party, $200 or more, I will give you a free bar of wax. And now you and I know that you got 9 bars in your kit. So that's an easy way to give a gift. Maybe you're doing incentives with your team. So sometimes at the end of the month, I will do like Happy Mail box challenges, and I will throw in Scentsy supplies. This last month had tons of random stuff in there, and some of it was wax bars because consultants can use that. Door prizes. If you're playing games in your VIP groups, it's another way to use some of those bars. Don't forget it's a tax write-off. That's very important. So that is for the most part how I use mine. I don't know if anybody else uses it a different way. We knew that this call would not be a full 30 minutes on this topic, but this was actually really like a game changer for me because now that I have out 6 bars, I always see repeat customers. Or if I'm sending out these samples, I always see my customers opting to buy that bar of wax. So it does work. Is anybody else doing something different? Does anybody else have a club? I know Bree has a club. I don't know if you want to put it in the chat or raise your hands or unmute yourself. Okay. So the next thing we did want to chat about tonight was the $20 join kit. Who on here already has teamies? Has anybody had any new recruits this month? Put it in the chat, raise your hand, say yes, say no. Lexi has, Bree has. Has anybody had any conversations yet this month? Possibly 2. Tanya has, I have. So you guys, I am here to tell you that this $20 join kit can be an absolute game changer for your business, the growth of your business, and the future of your business. Yes, I love it. So the biggest tip I can give you is to share it with everybody, because you never know if somebody is truly going to say yes or going to say no. The only way you would know that is if they expressed interest to you somewhere along your Scentsy journey. So a couple of different things so my team is doing a challenge where our goal is to grow our group to 160, and we are sharing samples. We are sharing join information like we do samples, which sounds crazy, but it dawned on me last month. And I thought to myself, why don't we as consultants share join information as much as we share samples? Or why don't we hustle after recruits like we do PRV? Well, you guys, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that it could be the last day of the month and maybe I'm trying to reach that 2,000 PRV to get that boost, and I will hustle like there is no other. Anybody else like that, trying to hustle for PRV? But then there's times where we don't even think for a second about sharing that join information. So this month, my team and I are doing kind of a little challenge. We have a join flyer that we can share with all groups. And then I have just been using clear litter mailers. So these are just really simple. And I put these in all of my orders. So basically it's just a clear mailer that you can get off of Amazon. I included the scent of the month flyer in sample. I included a join flyer, which I don't have any printed because I just sent them all out, but I will share it. I included my story. If you don't have a story, don't include it. You can make this as much or as little as you want. The point is to get join information in people's hands and everybody's hands. Rather you are putting it in your orders, rather you are sending it out in your happy mail. If you're sending happy mail for your customers on a monthly basis, this is something you should be including all the time. And then I made these little labels where they're super simple. I'll hold them up. I was not talking because last time I did that, it covered me. It just says interested in joining, scan me and fill me out. And that little scan button is just a Google Doc form so I can gauge their interest. And so I am sharing this with everybody, and I'm going to pull up my Google Doc and kind of tell you just the questions that I put on there. It's very simple. And I actually made this prior to knowing about the $20 kit. So I just edited to include the $20 kit. So it just says interested in joining. If you have any interest at all in joining, please fill out the following. Have you sold Scentsy before? Guess what? You can come back for free. Let me know and I'll help you with that process. Whether you are interested to simply support your obsession or wanting to make money, Scentsy is here for all of it. With Scentsy, you are not required to have inventory. In order to stay active, you have to submit a 200 order once every 12 months. With this product launching, let me tell you, it's going to be mad crazy, and I'm here to support you all the way. No matter if you're trying to earn $30, $70, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, etc. It can go towards something. So then like my required fields were like first name, last name, email, phone number. On a scale 1 to 5, how interested are you? Because I want to know, like 1, they're not really interested. 2, 5, they're very interested. And then I kind of just list the options. So I included the host exclusive kit. I included that I have $29 kits available, which the way that I do my $29 kits is a host exclusive kit. I just am putting them up for grabs at $29. I have the $99 kit on here. And then I also have the option that if they're ready to come back, just in case it's a reinstatement. So this is something that I'm going to personally use all the time because I just think it's an area that I personally lack in, and I don't share the opportunity like I share samples, and it really could be that simple. It's not overwhelming. You're just putting information in a bag, and what they do with it is what they do with it. But again, here's a perfect example. My flyer that I created, I have had these flyers made for 2 years, and I have not gone through 50 of them, which tells me that I wasted my money because I haven't passed them out. So I need to step it up personally, and I need to start getting these flyers out the door to share this opportunity with people. If you do MailChimp, this is a great way. I just did a MailChimp today, and I can probably share my screen here and show you what it looked like if you do MailChimp. So bear with me. The last time I did a join MailChimp, it was very successful. I got a teamie from it. This time I wanted, to obviously share that join information for the $20 kits. Let's see. I have to remember where I go to see past ones. Okay. Okay. So I took an adorable picture of myself, if I do say so myself, holding a $20 bill. And then when is the last time you spent $20 and you've seen a lifelong return? $20 to join this month while kit supplies last, because these kits are limited. So these kits can indeed run out, but it's important to know that we have all these other kits available. Jump off the fence and come do Scentsy with me. Nothing to lose. Just think, if it doesn't work out, you got yourself a mini warmer, a wax bar, and samples for $20 when the value is $26 plus. Plus, I'm here 100 to help you. P.S. I saw what is coming this month, and another reason I'd encourage you to join. Because let's be for real, if you guys were on the spoiler with Heidi and Orville, you guys saw the amazing things coming. Scentsy seriously supplies us all the tools to continue to be successful at selling. And then if you click here, it just takes them to my website so they can join for that $20. Then one of our teamies, Amanda, created this amazing flyer, so I made sure to include it. And then again, I have here, just in case they're interested or they have questions, if I clicked here, it just takes them to my email. So it's kind of on a one-on-one setting. So if they have questions, I can answer them for them. I included the top 10 reasons to join. I made this at the beginning of the year, which is just different amounts that consultants made in 2020. And let's face it, sometimes it's not about wax and warmers or financials. Sometimes it's about community. So this is just a picture of me and some of my teamies from our world tour retreat. And then just a little picture of me and my family. And then I'm going to join for $20. So I sent this out earlier, and I've already had 2 people email me asking questions. Did they join? No. But is the interest there? Yes. And that is ultimately what I want. So I definitely encourage you to try MailChimp. You're going to have a really big reach. Try to treat it like samples. Any join information you have, and it could seriously be a handwritten note. You could be doing your thank you card and you could say like, hey, thank you for supporting my business. I hope you love X, Y, and Z. Hey, by the way, you could get money back on your own purchases this month only. Join for $20. Reach out to me if you have questions. You can create QR codes. There's so many things you can do. A big thing we're doing in my group as well is we are reaching out to 5 people a day. So if you reach out to 5 people a day, which doesn't seem overwhelming, it doesn't seem intimidating, at the end of this month, you're going to share the opportunity with over 150 people. If you share the opportunity with 150 people, I'm pretty confident one person at least is going to join your team. So those are some things that I'm doing. I don't know if anybody else wants to unmute and share maybe what they're doing with this $20 join kit, because I will say that I've had very good success. Tanya, who's on the call, joined 2 years ago in May with the $15 kit, and she's a director. So she's had very good success. Lisa, who's also on her team, joined with a $15 kit, a director. Amanda, who's on my team, joined with a $20 kit last year, director. And they obviously work to get there, but sometimes people get these kits and they're like, this isn't enough supplies, but it really is. It really is enough supplies to get rocking and rolling, especially if you are doing your business majority online, especially if you have the mindset where I'm going to invest $20, get the ball rolling, and once I get my first commission check, buy a couple more supplies. Yeah, and that happens all the time, Lexi. Lexi joined for $20, but that $99 kit is still available. And sometimes people still opt to have that big kit because they get all of those different things. Anybody else want to say anything? Bree, I mean, are you guys doing anything different? Are you doing?
Well, what your group is doing is amazing.
We've had 8 recruits already this month in my group. I'm so freaking proud of them.
That's awesome. I just checked and we have 10.
I don't know what that was.
Okay. Yeah. So I just checked and we have 10. I think that the $20 kit is a great option. Expect like, okay, for example, I give free join kits all the time. Mm-hmm. I can't even like get people to wrap their head around that I'm giving them a free join kit though. Like they think like there's some sort of like scam or scheme to it. And so I think the $20 kits are a great option because they're like, okay, I'm paying this and I'm getting these products. So at the very least, like I have a free one, or I have a mini warmer that I paid $20 for, and I'm getting a free bar of wax and some testers and some samples and a few catalogs. So I've seen a lot of people promoting it as like $20 can get you a mini warmer plus this plus a business for free. Mm-hmm. And I think that is super important because they feel like better about it because they're paying money instead of just getting it for free. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely. Because I feel the same way. Like I have join kits available all the time and I can't get people to take free ones ever. And that's why I started switching to like, I have a $29 kit available. And that actually started working very well for my business. And Candace just said the same thing. They think it's a scam. I mean, they do. And then you do have those people that I think join just to get those items for that $20. Like you are going to still have kidnappers with a $20 kit. It's just the way that it is. But you could truly find rock stars. And this is definitely your time, especially if you are new or seasoned. It's for anybody where you're going to be able to build your front line. Because let's face it, your PRV is your paycheck for today. Growing a team is your paycheck for the future. And a lot of times what happens if you're not a strong recruiter, you are very likely that you are growing down, which means that your downline is growing, but you're not growing wide. And you need to grow wide because that is where all of it is going to be beneficial for you in the long run, whether it's financials, promoting, incentives. A lot of times people drop off, new people come in. So I was like, who just messaged this long message? I'm reading your message. Oh my gosh, you guys, all month long. So this is what you're sending to people? I post that and had 3 conversations. Absolutely. I love it. And I feel like it's a mindset thing too. I feel like the more that we talk about recruiting, the more likely we are to share the opportunity. And I think that's something that we have changed significantly in my team setting and group setting. We are constantly talking about recruiting. And so it's a reminder like, hey, we do have this amazing opportunity to share with somebody. And something else I'm doing too is, so on Saturday, I sent out, some brief messages about this kit. I had people respond, no, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. And so I responded, hey, not a problem. Do you know anybody that could use this blessing right now? So ask for referrals. If you're getting no's, ask them if they know anybody that could benefit from this. So that's number one. Number two, I had another girl that said, oh, my life is really crazy right now, so not right now. So I said, hey, totally understandable. Would you like me to reach out to you when another opportunity presents? Now, you and I both know that there's opportunities all the time. And she's like, yes, please. So automatically I put her on my dream team board. No, I'm not going to reach out to her tomorrow and tell her I have a joint kit up for grabs. That might be too soon, but you better believe in a month from now, I'm going to follow up and be like, hey, Katie, just wanted to check in, let you know that I do have a joint kit available for free or $59 or whatever it may be. So keep track of your conversations. Have a running list, just like you do list of 100, and write down like Tanya, not interested. Jessica, maybe. Bree, yes. Those type of things. So when this is over, you have something to go off of, because you guys, no isn't no forever. I have a lot of people on my team that have said no over and over again, and they are right here. I've had people that told me they wouldn't host parties. They're just go straight to joining. And that happens all the time. So it's important for you to keep that dialogue open, the conversation open. And let me tell you, they're watching you. You've planted seeds and now you're just watering them over and over again with how Sensi is bettering you, your family, whether it's community, financials, playing for children's sports, whatever it may be. They are watching you. It happens all the time. Yeah, that's all I got.
I think it's great.
I'm excited to see how this
I
$20
think
kits.
$20 kits too are great for new consultants who have never sponsored someone before, because they might feel a little uncomfortable about recruiting, but it opens the door for easier conversations when you're like, hey, so it's $20. This is what you get. Like, try it. If you don't like it, the worst thing that happens is you go back to being my customer. That's it. So I think it's a great option, especially for people that have never, recruited anyone before.
And it's a great option going off of that. It's a great option for consultants that have never sponsored before, meaning that like they've been a certified consultant, they've been a consultant for a couple of months. It really helps build that momentum, because sometimes it's nothing better than doing something new with your best friend or your cousin or whomever it may be. And $20 isn't, earth shattering in a sense, like a $99 kit might be. And $20 may be a lot for some people, but the lifelong investment, it's going to be life changing. It really, really can be. And I also wanted to share. So what I've also been doing this month is I send Happy Mail to my customers, and I did the same thing. So in just an envelope, I'm sorry, I don't have any examples. I can share pictures later. It's just an envelope. I put my join flyer in there, sent of the month, and I sent it out. So same thing like I'm putting in my orders, but now I'm just putting it in envelopes and sending it out. And I just go to my contact tab and I just start sending to people. I don't overthink it, because I think sometimes we spend so much time going, okay, Betty hasn't bought Sensi in 3 years. She's not going to be interested. I'm here to tell you that you're making decisions for people, and they more than likely are going to tell you either yes or no. And that happens all the time. I actually had today a customer that has not bought from me in 6 years. 6 years, you guys. When I first joined, my cousin had a party for me. This woman bought off of her party, and she has not bought, spoke to, followed me, anything in 6 years. Also, I was a new consultant and didn't follow up, so I let that ball drop. I sent out my MailChimp and she responded. And I was like, oh my God, who is this customer? I didn't know who it was. And so I had to go into my contacts and I'm like, oh my God, this really does work. But so often we go through our contacts and we start weeding out people thinking, they don't want to be part of Scentsy. They don't have time for it. Let them make that decision. Because if nothing comes out of the join, you at least planted a seed, you at least touched base, and you shared the scent of the month or whatever you're going to include. So rather that comes back in recruit form, rather it comes back in an order, rather it comes back in a conversation or a relationship, something will come out of it. Does anybody have any questions or anything maybe they're doing? Jerry said, I joined thinking I would just get the warmer and maybe some discounts on my own personal wax. Here I am a year later. Yep. Does anybody have a recruiting goal this month? You want to put it in the chats, let us know. So yeah, that's about it, you guys. I hope you had some good takeaways. I just need one that wants to work. I feel you, girl. And this is going to be a month where you could find a magical one and you can get some non-magical ones, but it all works out. Keep sharing, have a goal, try to reach out to people every day or sharing in some form, whether it's your VIP page, MailChimp, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever it may be. There's so many different ways to share this journey. So we can get a bunch of kidnappers. You're absolutely right. And it happens. It really does happen. But they'll weed themselves out. That's kind of how it always works. So join, maybe they'll have a great first month, or maybe they won't do anything. They'll just take the kid and run. So they'll weed themselves out. Anything else you want to add, Bree?
No, and I think too, like sometimes we get those consultants under us and they solely buy for themselves. And I just want to make a point that like you need those people too on your team, the ones that put an order in like once every 4 months, because that does help your GWV and that does help how many active front lines you do. So I think it's just important to like when they're joining to simply ask them, like it's appropriate to say like, what do you want out of this? Do you want to build a business? Do you want to solely get a discount on your products? Are you just getting the kit? And I mean, you don't have to say those things, but you can just simply ask them like, what is your intention with this? And then you know how to lead them.
I like that. I just have goals. Me too. We just have goals. And maybe it's not fair to have a recruiting goal because this month really could be limitless. I think the more people you share with, the more opportunities that are going to present themselves. Maybe you'll get a good mix of kidnappers, people that are doing it for their own benefit, and then maybe you're going to get some rock stars in there. So you never know, but this is definitely a month to try things, different things, maybe try and get a little bit uncomfortable. But this is a good thing. So, what is next week? I already forgot. We just did this. Has anybody done the You Me Who from last week? Has anybody set up an account? I'm just curious. I need to work on mine. I just told Candace about it. I know she was kind of interested in it. And you know what? Actually, before I totally forget, you want to know why this month can also be very impactful on your business? We just started as of May 1st, annual mentor award. So this could be huge. That just like clicked in my head. I'm like, oh, hello, it's a new year for Scentsy when it comes to those things. And so you have to have 14 people certify from May 1st to April 30th. and you get different things. So I think if they become certified, you get $25 per certify and you get $50 per lead. So think of it this way, you guys get out there, talk to people, because you could get 14 recruits. It happens all the time with these kits that are $20 especially. So maybe this is just going to jumpstart that for you. Yes, me too. I want that too. It's in that's on my goals this year. So definitely write it out, track it. I did not get it this year. I have never earned annual mentor yet. Keyword. So my goal is 2021 to earn it. That's awesome, Lexi, that you're going to have somebody sign up tomorrow. That's amazing. Just keep sharing. That's what's more important. And you guys, if you guys are coming up with things and you want to share, just keep sharing in your groups, because what you're doing, if it's working for you, share with people, because it could work for somebody else. So that's pretty much, that's it. That's a wrap for this Monday. We'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m. And I don't have the schedule in front of me, so I am totally drawing a blank on what our topic is. I'm like failing you guys. Let's see here. I'm going to pull it up on my Canva. All right. Next week, actually, an extremely important one is understanding the comp plan is huge. And I can't wait to hear from Bree, because many people do not understand the comp plan and how to make money and how you make money and who you get paid off of. And what happens if you don't hit director numbers, but your downline hits director numbers? How does that work? So I'm really excited to hear from Bree. She has had great videos, and I know some of her videos people use all the time to share. So next week will be a good one. It will be important for you to tag your teamies and get them involved, so they can better understand it as well. But other than that, that's it, you guys. We'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m. Thank you for joining us. Bye. Let me